You didn't mention that I mentioned the screwdriver, DNA, all of these other things. You never mentioned any of that. So, no, you're actually incorrect there. But on top of that, moving over to the actual evidence itself.
Are you
yes, I'm okay. Anyway, back to the evidence
you're
itself.
Okay.
Yes,
actually,
I'm fine.
I'm glad you're asserting that you're okay. I wasn't worried about your health. I'm just saying that I just said you tweeted this. You said, no, I didn't. We got a fact check. And now you're like just going to gaslight me and pretend that I said.
There's no gaslighting.
It wasn't exhaustive. I never said that. I just said you did say this.
Zero gaslighting.
I didn't say you couldn't have said more, but I would like to address what you said in that tweet.
This is your time. If this is how you want to spend it interrogating my position, you can do it that way.
I'm just addressing what you asserted on your Twitter was like the.
Dude, what? He's like, this is your time. If you want to interrogate what I said, it's like, yo, homie, you paid her $300,000 for this, dude. He's like, he paid her $300,000 so he could say, well, this is your time. If you want to like make me look like a jackass, you're welcome to do that. I paid you $300,000. He is such a fool, dude. I'm serious, dude. He's like, well, I gave you $300,000 if you want to just take a human shit on me in front of the camera. That's fine. Go ahead. Here, somebody get me a chamois, please. Dude, look at the way he's sitting. Dude, his foot, look at him. He's like... And his foot is shaking. He's got his hand in the power vagina move. He's like, yo, Candace, can you see the vagina in my hands? This is a power move right here, Candace. I am very powerful. Are you concerned about how I'm feeling? Dude, look at him. He is like the dumbest fucking guy I've ever seen, bro. Why would he pay $300,000 for this? I mean, he must have a humiliation kink, dude. What I think is funny about this is how they're having a debate based on pretty much everything at this preliminary hearing was hearsay, okay? It really was. They didn't show any hard evidence. Everything was somebody testifying about what they heard or what they saw or what somebody said to them. I just think it's interesting that they're having a debate based on what it essentially amounts to flimsy grand jury testimony. Dude, he paid $300,000. Like, are you shitting me? And I mean, look at him, dude. He just looks like a clod, bro.
I said the prints were the most degraded off of Tyler Robinson. And from that, what I am inferring is that it's plausible that Tyler Robinson was set up.
That doesn't, okay? That's the point in contention.
That's not a point in contention. That's
the point in contention.
It's not a point in contention. If you're saying it's a point,
it is the point in contention.
It's not the point in contention. I'm telling you that was.
But how is it not a point of contention? Tyler Robinson's prints were on the gun. Therefore, he may have shot Charlie Kirk. Tyler Robinson's prints were the most degraded on the gun. Therefore, he may have touched the gun the least. And the last time he touched that thing may have been a year ago, right? I mean, come on, dude. It's literally the same thing, bro. Come on, right? I mean, he's arguing that like, oh, you can't argue. I mean, you can infer whatever you want, right? That like they're both doing the same thing. Oh, the gun was found in the woods, so therefore Tyler shot him with that gun. Okay, well, his DNA was degraded on the gun, therefore Tyler didn't put that gun in the woods. Clearly, somebody else put that gun in the woods, and Tyler hadn't touched it in 6 months. Right? Can I have my $300,000 now? Did you make it in big bills, please? Hundreds only?
What the entire hearing allowed for. So the evidence that he is describing,
we're asking you
that
now.
He is using to argue his case is all based on inference, not fact.
Great.
Inference, not fact. So what they are inferring off of the facts.
So again, we're going to take this, and I'm just going to even grant it because it's irrelevant. I'm asking how you get to the inference that even if you dispute that piece of evidence, that means 𝗙ecie. I'm looking for the logical chain for how you get to that inference.
What I am telling you is it's the exact same way that when you tweeted, I think that this evidence is overwhelming. When they say that looks like Tyler Robinson's car, he drives a similar car, okay? They are inferring that that's Tyler Robinson.
Can you walk me through the inference so that I understand?
It's not a fact. It's not a fact. When you show a blurry image, which you kept citing that we have
No, I'm
images.
talking about your inference that the fingerprints, even if they're degraded, equals 𝗙𝗍𝗍𝗄. How do you get that inference?
I didn't say it equals 𝗙𝗍𝗍𝗄. I think it is enough evidence that it should be explored, which is exactly what this preliminary was in the inverse.
That's not in dispute. What's in dispute is when you said, I'm using this as evidence that he could have been a patsy. I'm asking, how do you get the inference to patsy from that?
Because what I am saying is that it shows that somebody else had more DNA presence on that gun than Tyler Robinson did. So it is plausible, which is all they're doing. They're presenting plausibility based off of the facts, okay? It is plausible that somebody just took his gun and put it there. That's it.
Is there equally...
That's how it works.
And is there equally 100 other plausible explanations?
I think that's the reason why most people are exploring when things don't make sense.
Got it.
So yes, at the beginning of that, this is how.
Dude, literally the biggest crime that was committed here is the fact that she got paid $300,000 for this. Dude, what in the f*** are we doing here, bro? JFK been real silent. Dude, look at PBD. He's like, I'm inferring right now that a fucking pastrami sandwich would be really fucking good. Dude, you think he's probably on the hub, dude? Dude, PBD's on the hub.
That's how the court process works.
So
just so we're clear,
if there's 100 other plausible
inferring.
explanations, then Candace, why is it that we should go with this idea that it was a patsy?
Oh, like what the bro? Dude, what is this guy arguing? Like, yo, Andrew, bro, they're like, honestly, I mean, does Candace, okay, here you go, Andrew Wilson, just between me and you, why does Kansas think Tyler Robinson was a patsy? I'm not saying this is right, but let me walk you through it because she's already told you. One, she believes the gun was planted, and she believes that the degraded fingerprint information proves that he hardly touched the gun. The gun was hardly fired. That thing was planted in the woods. Number two, she does not believe that a bullet caused that wound based on her exploration of forensic testing of that type of bullet. Number three, she believes the behavior of Benjamin Netanyahu, all of a sudden, I didn't kill Charlie, and all that shit, like kind of was implying that, whoa, it kind of seems like maybe Israel had something to do with it. And based on some messages of Charlie talking about Israel and his feelings about Israel, she believes that those are connected. Okay, there's other shit about like the repaving of the stones right after this thing happened, the evidence disappearing, the TPUSA guys touching the cameras. Like right after the shooting, they were removing evidence from the tent. I mean, that's weird, guys. Like on camera, there's film footage of them removing evidence from this tent before the cops came and put tape around it. That's fucking weird, guys. Okay, right? I mean, there's a lot of shit where she's inferring that this doesn't add up. Now, again, none of that means Candace Owens is right, but like, you can't argue with the fact of like why she looks at all of that shit, and it feels like this thing has had a lot of cover-ups. Now, with me personally, guys, I have not like poured through the evidence of all this shit, but for me, I saw some footage of this guy, Tyler Robinson. There's video of him interacting with a cop like a year before, after he had a traffic accident, and his mom comes out. This Tyler guy is not like the sharpest tool in the shed, okay? This guy is a little bit fumbly and bumbling and a little bit young and like immature and kind of doofy. And so thinking that this doofy kid could be so calculated, like down to the second, and pull off this crazy stunt felt a little bit weird to me as an outsider because this thing definitely felt like a professional hit. Okay, it did. It felt like it was like, I don't know, man. The timing of it was like so impeccable. And literally, you know, I don't know. It felt like a lot to pull off for this bumbling, you know, whatever, 19, 20-year-old kid, right? I don't know. I have a 20-year-old kid. It's like this felt a little like high stress, high pressure, well executed sort of thing. A lot of it didn't add up to me as the casual viewer because it was so like not messy, okay? You know? And so I understand why people are like filled with doubts with all this shit, you know? I mean, it's totally understandable. That doesn't mean she's right, but you know, a lot of it was just weird. It's just weird, man. And the other thing, guys, you ready for this? The other thing that really struck me, I don't know if you guys remember this, but this really struck me, and I will never, for the life of me, guys, this will never feel right. Because, guys, I watched Reagan get shot at. We watched what happened when Luigi shot like Brian Thompson. The thing that hit me the most was Spencer Cox. Okay? The fucking governor of Utah. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about this because what ended up happening was this shooting took place and the governor of Utah became the point person to deliver this whole like leftist conspiracy killing thing. And he was out there like telling us everything, building the narrative, but there were zero press conferences from the surgeon who worked on Kirk, the head of medical at the hospital, the police in charge of this thing, the FBI, right? None of that. Like normally there's a parade of everyone involved. Wherever Charlie Kirk went, the head of the medical department, the head of the surgical department would go and do a press conference. Here, I'm here to deliver the bad news. We operated on Kirk for 3 hours, right? It was like, no, you had the governor of Utah going on talk shows going, yes, this was a leftist. It was a leftist Antifa type conspiracy. You know what I mean? That was weird, guys. I've never seen the governor of all people start developing the narrative of a criminal case that the attorneys of that state are later going to have to argue in a court of law. That's weird, guys. That was really fucking weird. That felt very high level political. Okay? Like, yeah, man, if the government was involved, then yeah, the governor of Utah might be out there spinning a yarn. Okay? But that was very like non-traditional, guys. I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen the governor get involved. Okay, even during the OJ killings, the governor didn't come out and start making statements about the case because that shit would make it hard to prosecute. Okay, if the governor was out there like the same day talking about the killer being a leftist and shit, that's gonna fuck up your criminal case. So I don't know, man.
I'm not saying that we should go with the idea that it was a patsy. I am saying that there is.
I thought that was the whole defense, your whole claim.
No,
today.
my whole claim was that there is more evidence that he has set up as a patsy.
How does that equal evidence of patsy?
I don't know how many times I can say this. Like I'm saying that I am using the exact same mechanism that you are accepting for some reason in the Utah courtroom. Yeah. Right. To say, I'm going to look at the evidence and I'm going to infer an alternative theory. So you just saw the states and you're accepting it. And they have not presented any concrete facts. You listed on your own Twitter that what you found to be convincing was something that looked like his car pulled into the driveway, a blurry image.
No, I didn't.
A standard white guy coming up the steps that could literally be anyone.
This never happened.
Can we
You
get a fact check on that?
check
Can
it.
we pull up his
I
tweet
didn't-
where he goes over
I didn't
the
say
four?
that's what convinced me.
When you actually didn't say it's what convinced me, but you said
Right.
this is the evidence that you found to be overwhelming, and you named, I believe, actually 5 things. I think you said it was his car. You said it was.
Well, there's multitudes of things that I find
You
to
just
be
said you didn't
compelling
say it, so we're going to
evidence.
get a fact check on that. You
Sure.
did.
Go ahead.
You said the blurry images coming up the steps. Quite literally, when Officer Bagley testified, they talk about when I'm talking about making inference. This is the most I thought was the most absurd testimony I've ever heard. And pardon me, it was actually Hull, David Hull. They asked him a question: how did you know the guy in the maroon shirt was the same as the guy that came up the stairs later that was wearing the American flag black shirt? And he said, they're wearing the same shoes.
Why is that absurd?
That's how you decided these two are the same people. Oh, wow. What a scientific. They're both wearing Converses. Okay. That's an absurd thing to say. That is not.
I mean, you know, it's Converse are not uncommon shoes at a college, guys. Right? I mean, you have to admit, it's, you know, the thing that I find interesting about this, guys. Let me just show you this. Have you seen the Erika Kirk brother, Tyler Robinson? Have you seen this shit? This shit is wacky, okay? Where they have Erika Kirk's brother. This is weird, guys, okay? This is Erika Kirk's brother, right? Or her half-brother, Travis Gunta. He's a firefighter, a science instructor, and an elite endurance runner. And this shit, that shit is weird, guys, because that could just as easily be her half brother as it could be fucking Tyler Robinson. Dude, I mean, come on, man. That is pretty crazy. Like, the possibilities of that are very, you know, is that Tyler Robinson or is that her half brother? I mean, it's somewhat compelling that it sure does look like him. It would come down to like the detail of the nose. So again, now this does not prove that this guy is her half brother. And this does not prove that this guy isn't Tyler Robinson. But man, if I looked at that, that feels like there's almost enough reasonable doubt there. Okay. That is some reasonable doubt. But there's a lot about this shit that is not cut and dried. That's where you know, where it's rife for conspiracies. You know, the detail, it's just kind of like, you know, that's what a lawyer would do. I mean, I'm going to say though, like, dude, literally Converse tennis shoes at a college, like, bro, probably like 25% of the people at that school that day had Converse on. You know, that's not really the singing evidence, guys.
Just told me I couldn't.
So
do
when
that.
that never happened. You're just making stuff up. So anyway, when we're talking about logical inferences, what I'm looking for is the logical inferences that you have that Tyler Robinson's a patsy based on the totality of evidence that you have.
We can keep going through your other evidence, but we should find
Yes.
his tweet where he lists the reasons that he was convinced.
So let's start with the 30-06. I think that's fine.
Your team's looking for. Do you remember how long ago that was?
The tweet of the 5. Did you delete it or no?
No,
Did
I
you
don't
delete
delete
any
tweets.
Okay, cool. I just look for. He said
Unless I
it was his
misspell.
car. It was his. It was the car, and it was definitely the staircase photos, and it was when the trial was
okay,
going on.
she has it. Perfect.
She has
If you got, Skylar has it. If you want to pull it up so we can see
Fantastic.
it.
Somebody said, so give me the clear evidence right here. I want you to provide it right here. All I heard from the investigator was, we believe this to be Tyler Robinson. Is belief something you go as a fact? You wrote the car pulling in. That's a totally blurry image. Robinson getting out of it. You have no idea if that's Tyler Robinson. The fact that he is seen 4 other times on camera. The fact being just a standard white boy with brown hair was seen walking up staircase. The DNA on the roof, we should discuss that. And on the screwdriver that he left behind, it's overwhelming, man.
Yeah, but that's not an exhaustive list.
Well, just so we're clear, you did tweet it.
But it's not an exhaustive.
Yeah,
well,
but just 5 seconds ago, you should concede.
You said I only said this one thing and said that was overwhelming, actually.
That's not what I said.
It is. You could even
Patrick,
pull your
did
own
I
clip.
say that?
Can you fact check if that was said or not? I did not hear her say
So the
this.
thing is funny here is like we still aren't getting to any of these inferences. So
Why are you pivoting? But just say you were wrong. It's cool to just say I was wrong. I can say it.
I'm not wrong. So back to the tweet aspect here. It's really funny.
I'm
That's
not
an
wrong.
exhaustive list of why I find it.
I didn't say it was exhaustive. I just said you said it.
And on top of it, well, no, you
But
didn't.
dude, I mean, she roasted him there. Because I'm sorry, guys, right? Like, literally, guys. All you have to do is look at this fucking image, okay? And like, this image right here casts doubt as to whether this is fucking Tyler Robinson, okay? I mean, literally. Now, I don't know if we have a good shot of the nose. I mean, I feel like the nose is very telling. This guy's nose is very different than Tyler's. But like, bro, this right here is, I mean, that it's possible that this is the guy in these photos. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's possible. These photos are not any hardcore definitive proof that is Tyler Robinson. I just don't. I think it is, there's a reasonable doubt here for sure, boss.
You said that I only said this one thing and then said based on that it's over. Well, I didn't. You didn't mention that I mentioned the screwdriver, DNA, all of these other things. You never mentioned any of that. So, no, you're actually incorrect there. But on top of that, moving over to the actual evidence itself.
Are you
yes, I'm okay. Anyway, back to the evidence
if you're
itself.
okay.
Yes,
actually,
I'm
I'm glad you're asserting that you're okay. I wasn't worried about your health. I'm just saying that I just said you tweeted this. You said no, I didn't. We got a fact check, and now you're like just going to gaslight me and pretend that I said
there's no gaslighting.
It wasn't exhaustive. I never said that. I just said you did say this.
Zero gaslighting.
I didn't say you couldn't have said more, but I would like to address what you said in that tweet.
This is your time. If this is how you want to spend it interrogating my position, you can do it that way.
I'm just addressing what you asserted on your Twitter was like the
dude. What? He's like, this is your time. If you want to interrogate what I said, it's like, yo, homie, you paid her $300,000 for this, dude. He's like, he paid her $300,000 so he could say, well, this is your time. If you want to like make me look like a jackass, you're welcome to do that. I paid you $300,000. Like, he is such a fool, dude. I'm serious, dude. He's like, well, I gave you $300,000 if you want to just take a human shit on me in front of the camera. That's fine. Go ahead. Here, somebody get me a chamois, please. Dude, look at the way he's sitting. Dude, his foot, look at him. He's like, and his foot is shaking. He's got his hand in the power vagina move. He's like, yo, Candace, can you see the vagina in my hands? This is a power move right here, Candace. I am very powerful. Are you concerned about how I'm feeling? Dude, look at him. He is like the dumbest fucking guy I've ever seen, bro.
hard evidence that convinced you it was overwhelming. That's literally your debate
That's not what
claim.
you said. That's not actually, in fact, what happened in that exchange. I was here for it.
So what's your position here?
Yeah, so my position is that based on all of the evidence, which has been demonstrated, at least all the evidence to my knowledge, that I am actually not seeing anything that's compelling as an alternative theory. I'm not seeing anything which is convincing me of something otherwise than what the state is presenting as evidence. That's my position, if
Okay.
that's what you're asking me.
But like, yo, Andrew, dude, this guy, what the fuck? He's like, oh, okay. So you paid her $300,000? Like, were you expecting her to convince you of something? Like, she has a theory, and you were saying you had the evidence to prove her theory wrong. And now that you're sitting here, you're like, well, I'm not going to be convinced that anything but what I believe is true. Right? And I'm not going to prove you wrong. Why would he pay $300,000 for this? I mean, he must have a humiliation kink, dude. Yo, political punk here. I know, it's killing me. Seriously, guys, if you like what we do around here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and turn those noties on. And I wouldn't be anywhere without the members. So if you want to hit the join button, we really appreciate that too. Thank you so much, guys. It's getting crazy out there, and I'm just really glad to not be going through this alone. All right? All right, keep your chin up. Let's go, boss. All right, fuck you. Bye-bye.